In just about 10 minutes from now, the country is going to be treated to a wonderful show of gratitude courtesy India's armed forces. The Army, the Navy and the Air Force are about to put up a spectacular show of national thanks and gratitude to every single COVID-19 warrior out there. In just 15 minutes from now, the show will begin. It's going to be an aerial salute courtesy the Air Force, a ground salute courtesy the Army, and a sea salute courtesy the Indian Navy. All of it coming together over the next couple of hours, and you will miss not a moment of it if you stay with India Today. At the National Police Memorial in Delhi, the Army, Navy and the Air Force have already paid tribute to all those policemen who have died due to the virus and saluted their spirit for staying guard at a time when the entire country is in lockdown. As you can see, helicopters dropping petals on the police memorials in a grand display of gratitude. These images, in fact, in this morning from Jaipur, to lakhs of Corona warriors. The Indian Armed Forces will conduct flypasts, light up their warships at sea, playing military bands and showering flower petals on hospitals treating coronavirus patients today. The announcement was made by Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat at a press conference on Friday. These beautiful images from Jaipur, I want to get you a little bit more about those. India Today's Devankur Vadhavan joins me live from the Pink City. Dev, take us through these beautiful images. The helicopter flower petal ceremonies have begun in Jaipur.
Oh, absolutely, Shiv. We are right now at the SMS Medical Hospital in Jaipur. This is the biggest hospital of Rajasthan, and right now what you see are several doctors, frontline workers gathered inside the hospital premises, on which a few seconds ago, hardly 10 seconds ago, the helicopters, the Indian Air Force helicopters showered flower petals and across the length and breadth of the premises of this hospital. Right now there are the flower petals which were showered by these helicopters, and even right now the gratitude that was shown by the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. These frontline healthcare workers are being honored by our forces in this show of gratitude across not just Rajasthan but across the country at various places. The Indian Air Force has showered flower petals at the frontline healthcare workers who have gathered out here, who have been taking care of the COVID-19 patients and ensuring day in, day out that these patients of COVID-19 are taken care of and the spread of the virus is contained. Some of these doctors' shifts have been working for 18 to 20 hours every day, and there have been, there have been repercussions of that. Several healthcare workers have also, contracted coronavirus. But despite that, they have been continuing the fight against COVID-19. There has been a recent spurt in the number of cases also in Rajasthan. But despite all of that, despite the obstacles, despite the bottlenecks, these doctors have been fighting against the deadly virus and trying to ensure that it does not spread in a large manner. Shiv?
Absolutely. Dave, stay with me. I also want to go because this is a national salute courtesy the armed forces that's going to be stretching from the north of the country to the south, from the east to the west. All parts are going to be covered. So wherever you are in the country, chances are you're going to at least see or hear some of what the military has in store over the next couple of hours and also later in the evening. Okay, we've got images coming in from Ladakh as well. All part of this. Remember, this is a hugely coordinated, spectacle that's been organized by the Ministry of Defense and the armed forces. And you can only imagine the kind of coordination it's going to take. In fact, once the Indian Air Force aircraft, the transport aircraft and the fighters hit the skies, this is going to be an aerial ballet like no other. And this is gratitude. Every single COVID-19 warrior, healthcare worker, policeman, nurse, doctor, this is for you. All of this, whether it's in Ladakh, Jaipur, Kerala, Ahmedabad, wherever it is, this is all pointed directly at you. in a firm namaste. I want to go across now to Gopi Krishnan Unithan in Kerala. He's joining me live from Thiruvananthapuram. Gopi, the aerial salute is going to be from north to south. Kerala will see a large part of it as well. Take us through what's happening in Thiruvananthapuram right now.
Well, Shiv, we just had the aerial salute which was being carried out by the Indian Air Forces happening in Thiruvananthapuram. So there were two hospitals which were identified by the IAF, two of the senior institutes in Kerala which have been in the front line of fighting the COVID-19. One of them was the Thiruvananthapuram Medical College and the other one was the General Hospital in Thiruvananthapuram. So in Medical College, we had the staff lining up over a stretch of over 100 meters from one of the iconic areas in this Medical College premises to the main gate of the premises. And it was actually a fascinating visual to see this Sarang helicopter taking a full stretch of that particular road, over that particular road, and showering flowers over the top of all these health workers who had lined up on either side of this particular road. And it actually went for about 2 rounds and then it proceeded towards the General Hospital. So absolutely inspiring effort, or what we can say motivating effort being done by the armed forces to motivate these people who have been in the front line for over 100 days now. It's been quite a long journey for them, and it's just gratifying that these people are getting this kind of appreciation from the armed forces, which are considered to be the actual warriors for the country. But when it comes to an enemy, like an invisible enemy like the COVID-19, it has come to the health workers and other officials who are doing this fight against that.
Absolutely, Gopi, and thank you for reminding all of us and all of our viewers that the armed forces, the true warriors of the country, they've got their own job to do. It's in the middle of all of that they've aligned this aerial salute, this mode of thanks, while they conduct their actual military training. So for all those who've been wondering whether this is an extravagance or a waste, the armed forces have confirmed to us here in India today that all of the flights that you see in the air, everything that you see, they're all part of training or logistics missions. Many of the aircraft you see will actually be transporting COVID-19 material or other material, logistics equipment across the country. So it's not a waste in that sense. They've simply aligned this mode of thanks along with their existing sorties and flight operations. I also want to introduce some of my guests as well. Captain D.K. Sharma, the very well-known former spokesperson of the Indian Navy and now one of India's foremost strategic affairs analysts, joins me live from Delhi. But I quickly want to go first across to India today is Gaurav Sawant, who's been reporting from across the red zone of Delhi for the last many weeks, and he joins me from Delhi's iconic India Gate this morning. Good morning, Gaurav. Just a few minutes to go before the Indian Air Force's C-130s swoop in over the skies of Delhi to begin this beautiful aerial salute. Gaurav.
Morning, Shiv. Morning to all our viewers. You're absolutely right. Just a few minutes to go for the C-130J Hercules to fly past Rajpath. Symbolic, very significant. And then all eyes once again will be on the fly past by the fighter jets. 9 fighter jets, 3 Su-30 MKIs, 3 deep penetration strike aircraft, the Jaguars, and 3 air superiority fighters, the MiG-29s. Now the frontline fighters of the Indian Air Force, they will fly past Rajpath. We see this on Republic Day. Now we are seeing this as a tribute to our brave Corona warriors. And this fly past, Shiv, happens across the length and breadth of our country. So aircraft will fly all the way from Dibrugarh in the east to Kutch in the west, from Kashmir in the north, all the way down to Tamil Nadu in the south, also to Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. So the aim is to show that the armed forces are with our frontline Corona warriors, paying their respects to the braves. And any moment now, 10:15 Shiv is the exact time when the Hercules flies past Rajpath.
Okay, so right before the C-130s, the Super Hercules aircraft, come in over Rajpath, and Gaurav is right there with that perfect vantage point to get you those pictures. So don't shift away from India today. We've got the maximum cameras on the ground. You will miss nothing. That's a personal guarantee from all of us here on India's #1 channel. I want to go across now to Captain D.K. Sharma, who's with me live. Captain D.K., good morning to you. Privilege having you here with us. And what a lovely morning to have with all these beautiful images of helicopters dropping petals. In just a few minutes from now, the ships will be, the ships will be there out at sea, all lit up. It's going to be a glorious tribute, Captain DK. What are you making of it?
Good morning, Shiv, and good morning to all the viewers. This is a historic day today, and as we are speaking right now, when you're waiting for the C-130 and the fighters of the Indian Air Force to come over the Rajpath, I must tell you that right now the Indian Navy helicopters are doing a job by Goa, Cochin, Port Blair and Vizag. The timing for them to shower the petals was between 10 to 10:30.
Okay, we'll just fix that audio with Captain DK Sharma. I think there's a bit of an audio problem there. Captain, I'll come back to you. Just hang in there. We're going to try and fix that. So Gaurav, Devankur, Gopi are still with us. We're going to continue to bring you these pictures. But, you know, Captain DK was referring to what the Navy is going to be doing. The Navy and the Coast Guard since last night have had many of their warships lit up. Let me just take you quickly through what to expect from the Navy's side, and then we'll come to the Army's side. Now, Indian naval aviation assets, like Captain DK was saying, have been showering petals, by helicopter on hospitals treating COVID-19 patients in Mumbai, Goa, Kochi and Visakhapatnam. These are the four main naval areas of the country. That has already begun, like you saw in some of those pictures. In the evening today, naval vessels on the coasts of Mumbai, Porbandar, Karwar, Visakhapatnam, Chennai, Kochi and Port Blair will be illuminated in a ceremonial manner to honor the efforts of Corona warriors. It's going to be an absolutely spectacular sight, as many as 46 Indian Coast Guard ships will fire green flares and sound a ship siren at 25 locations. So it's going to be an audio-visual treat, when that happens. Of course, we'll be getting that to you here on India Today. Let's go straight across to Gaurav now. The Flypast has begun in the national capital. Gaurav, over to you.
Shiv, thank you very much. There is tremendous excitement here at Rajpath. Of course, you have a big team of journalists trying to maintain social distancing as much as possible. But if my camera person can just show you the C-130J Hercules aircraft, they are now very slowly flying past Rajpath in wick formation. Shiv, as you can make out, 3 aircraft formation of the C-130J Hercules flying past Rajpath. Slow, sure, sending a message. And Shiv, as you know better, this is the world's most favorite aircraft when it comes to special forces operations. Very short takeoff, very short landing, virtually on even a grassland. It can land anywhere, does not need a landing strip, does not need any runway to land on. It's a favorite of the special forces, and now our Indian special forces, especially for the Siachen Glacier and for other operations, now have the C-130J Hercules aircraft. Superb aircraft, sends out a very strong message. The entire nation, Shiv, stands together in this war against the coronavirus pandemic. That's the message that the Indian Air Force is sending out at this point of time, Shiv.
Incredible show of strength, incredible show of gratitude. This is what you're looking at, those pictures of the C-130J Super Hercules in the air over Delhi is the official kickoff point of the Indian Air Force's aerial salute. You've seen helicopters, and now you're looking at the C-130s. The fighter aircraft have been delayed just a little bit to about 11 o'clock, owing to the slightly rough weather we've seen in the national capital since earlier today. Gaurav, tell us when the fighters will be kicking in. I'm told about 11 o'clock, is that correct?
Shiv, anytime between 11 and 11:15, weather permitting, you'll have exactly the same formation like we see on Republic Day. 3 aircraft formation, first led by the Su-30 MKIs then the MiG-29 air superiority fighters, and then the deep penetration strike aircraft, the Jaguars. And Shiv, as you know better, as our viewers know so well, these are frontline fighters of the Indian Air Force, the sword arm of the Indian Air Force. The Su-30, you send out a very strong message. Huge aircraft, capability, the capacity is to carry up to 10 tons of weapons, and then the moment those aircraft are there, flying supersonic, and then immediately they can come to a stop. The enemy is scared of the Su-30s. It sends out a message. It's a morale booster. The MiG-29 air superiority fighters, they're now getting upgraded. And the Jaguar deep penetration strike aircraft can fly quickly into enemy country, drop even nuclear cargo, and quickly come back. That's the capability of the Jaguars. This, of course, is a war against the novel coronavirus, but the messaging is very clear. India will do all we can to defeat this virus. Government says we are doing very well so far. We'll stay on top to emerge on top, Shiv.
Absolutely, Gaurav. I mean, and this is just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, what you've seen is only an appetizer for the visual treat that COVID-19 heroes have in store for them over the next 2 hours. So strap in, get some breakfast if you can, and watch this beautiful military-style tribute, the likes of which the world has never seen. We've seen some aerial tributes in other countries. This one is incredible because this is the armed forces going about their normal COVID-19 duties, but also factoring in this gorgeous ceremonial salute to every Corona warrior in the country. I want to go across now to Captain DK Sharma, who's back with us. Captain DK, apologize for that audio problem that we had. I hope you can hear me now. But Captain, take us through the kind of complexity and coordination that goes into organizing an aerial and, this kind of military salute across the 3 elements. What kind of coordination and complexity is involved here?
Morning, Shiv, and morning to all the viewers. Today is a great day, unprecedented, when all the frontline warriors are saluting the COVID warriors, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, the police, the state administration, the sanitation workers, you name it. I mean, so these are the people who have held fort and have made the life of others comfortable in such unprecedented time. Now, fortunately, the civil traffic is not flying, so it will be much easier today. But otherwise, it's a mammoth of an exercise, very complex, when you have to adjust fighter flying, the military flying, which is juxtaposed to the civil traffic, which is flying all across the country, and then you have special routes you can't divert from them. So it is, then you have to fly with a particular height bands and just make sure that your scan is clear, and then you're coming in, because your speeds are much higher than the civil traffic which is happening, and the reaction times are just in seconds. So coming back to what the Navy is doing right now as we are speaking, because the Navy time was between, as I have been told, was between 1000 hours to 1030 hours, and the naval aviation part was happening in Mumbai, Goa, Kochi, Port Blair and Vizag, and this showering of petals was on nominated hospitals. Like, I'm sure, and the people of these particular cities are well aware, and we have put out the advisories for the people to come out on their rooftops, and just see it, that how the armed forces are paying their gratitude to the Corona warriors who have been standing steadfast for the last days. Today is the 40th day, and we believe this is likely to happen for some more time, but not in the places like Goa, which have already been declared as the green zone, but all the metros, the tier 1 cities, still happen to be locked down under red zones. So that will happen, and we know that it is going to stay like this for some time. But it is the time for solidarity. It is the time to stand together. Whether it is the police, whether it is the the medical corps all around, whether it's the civil doctors, the private doctors, the government doctors, nurses, paramedics, the sanitation workers. I must tell you, Shiv, the job which all these people are doing, it is unparalleled. There has been no stop in Delhi insofar as the normal is concerned. You know, these guys, if you find, it was springtime all over the country. All the roads are spick and span. No complaints of, you know, the car.
Yeah.
Remembered every day.
Incredible.
Not on one day, but every day. Because this.
And I want to, I want to just tell all of our viewers, you know, you raised a very important point, Captain Sharma, when you said these people are heroes. You know, there are many people saying, you know, isn't this a waste? You know, should this be happening at a time of coronavirus? I again want to reiterate to all of our viewers who have that, perhaps it's a reasonable doubt in their minds, but I want to tell you that all of the military logistics you see today are factored into existing flights that are already supposed to take place, and the military says that they are conducting these flights in conjunction with existing flight plans. So they factored in a little bit of ceremony along with their daily training flights and their COVID-19 logistics flights. So that's what you're actually seeing taking place right now. The C-130s have come. The fighter aircraft will be coming in just a short while as well. The showering of petals is taking place, you know, over hospitals all across the country, police memorials all across the country as well. Gaurav, I want to hand it back to you for the moment because you've got that beautiful vantage point at Delhi's Rajpath. Take us through what's in the skies right now.
Shiv, thank you very much. So the C-130J Hercules, their flypast is over. Now all eyes on the Jaguars, the MiG-29 air superiority fighters and the Su-30 MKIs, which will happen in about 40 minutes from now. Anytime between 11 and 11:15 is what we are expecting. If the skies clear up a little more, it is anticipated. But Shiv, what's extremely significant is the fact that a tribute was also paid at the National Police Memorial by the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. And that's a very important message that's going out, Shiv. As you well know, this is a very important battle where our police personnel are frontline warriors. 11 have tested positive in Kanpur just moments ago. And Shiv, this goes on to show how our brave policemen are right at the front line of this war on novel coronavirus. We've had 3 policemen who've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives in Maharashtra. We've had an assistant commissioner of police in Punjab and an assistant commissioner of police in Madhya Pradesh who've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives, and many, many more who've tested positive. This shows that whether it's ensuring that people stay in quarantine or getting resources to those who may have been affected by coronavirus, it's our policemen who are right, the first responders, sometimes even before doctors and ambulances and medical staff. And that is why a large number of policemen are also testing positive for coronavirus. Today is a day, Shiv, when the nation pays respects to those who've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives, those who've been infected, and those who continue to fight it out against all odds, Shiv.
Against all odds is really the catchphrase here, the operative words here, because these are odds that the country is still really coming to terms with. And many of these COVID warriors, remember, and I want to remind all of our viewers, before I go take you to the city of Mumbai, which is facing the COVID-19 crisis like no other metropolitan city. And India Today's Tanushree Pandey joins us live from the city which she's been locked down in. I also want to tell all of our viewers that many COVID, as you watch this broadcast with me, Gaurav, and all of our other reporters, please remember that there are many COVID-19 warriors for whom this aerial salute is intended, but they don't have the luxury of stepping out onto their terraces and watching it. So they have to accept the sentiment, but they don't have the luxury or the time of actually being out there to watch this beautiful spectacle. Hopefully, during a break later in the day, they'll be able to watch it on television. Tanushree is on Mumbai's Marine Drive. Tanushree, Mumbai is going to see an aerial spectacle, a ground spectacle, a sea spectacle, all kinds. Take us through what's happening in the beautiful city of Mumbai.
Absolutely, Shiv. In fact, quickly give you the location we are standing at right now. We are at Marine Drive, and that's NCPA Nariman Point, the end. of Mumbai. So just a short while back, Shiv, 3 fighter jets, 3 fighter aircrafts, Su-30s just did a fly past above us, and this is a grand display of gratitude for all the corona warriors, especially the doctors, all the healthcare workers and the police personnel of the state of Maharashtra. Now we are going to definitely see the fly past. The ships will be lighting themselves up at Gateway of India at around 5. We are also going to see, Shiv, in the next few moments from now, 3 more fighter jets, 3 more fighter aircrafts will be flying from south to north, Shiv. That is from the end point of Mumbai, that is Nariman Point, to Malabar Hills, the governor's house. So this is all being done as a token of respect, solidarity for all the corona warriors who are fighting against this pandemic from the front line. And Shiv, we already saw how the Indian Armed Force helicopter showered petals at 3 leading hospitals of Mumbai who are fighting the COVID-19 war, which is the KEM hospital, the Kasturba Gandhi hospital and the JJ hospital. Now, apart from that, the fighter jets have just flown past us a short while back. And now in our next display of the sky, a token or gesture, we are going to see 3 more fighter aircrafts which will be flying, Shiv, from the Nariman Point to the Malabar Hills. And in the evening, Shiv, we are going to see at Gateway of India the ships, the Navy ships, lighting themselves up, in a grand display of gratitude for the corona warriors. So yes, Shiv, we are right now at Marine Drive, and who could have thought that the Mumbaikars will have to see one of the top attractions in Mumbai like this, completely desolate and empty. But what is happening today is completely historical, Shiv. The armed forces are saying thank you on behalf of the entire country to those who are protecting us right now. And the doctors are also welcoming this across the state. They are saying that though we are unable to see this, we won't be able to see this, but definitely it is going to get, give us a sense of unity and confidence in these tough times. So definitely this was indeed a gesture. And Shiv, you can see there, Shiv, the fighter jets are flying from the NCPA to Malabar Hills. So this is the moment, I think, Shiv, that looks absolutely beautiful and surreal at this point of time, Shiv. The fighter jets flying through Nariman Point, the NCPA, and it is now crossing the Malabar Hills. So it is completely, surreal at this point of time to stand here and witness this historical moment, Shiv. In these tough times, our armed forces, who have always kept the country first, today are saying thank you to the corona warriors, to the healthcare workers, doctors who are keeping the country, their responsibility towards the citizens of a country first. So definitely, absolutely historical moment. And especially for the people of Mumbai, because they are going to see, they will be right now, must be watching this on television, this kind of an historical display of gratitude by the armed forces to the corona warriors, that is the medical fraternity and the police personnel. Shiv, back to you.
It's incredible. I mean, the Su-30 fighters, the MiG-29 fighters, over there, it's a bit of a cloudy day in Mumbai, like it is here in Delhi, and I suspect in several parts of the country as well. But that isn't going to dampen the spirits. As you can see outside those hospitals, you can see many COVID-19 warriors collecting there for the few free moments they have in their day to be able to actually witness what's happening, the beautiful tributes that are being paid to them by the military. And things are in full swing now. As you can see, fighter aircraft over Mumbai, the C-130 jets over Delhi, the helicopters from the Army, the Navy and the Air Force that have been conducting the flower petal tributes at police memorials and hospitals across the country. That element of this salute will be intensifying in the minutes ahead, which we will be bringing to you. But as you can see, the helicopter tributes are something that have taken a great deal of coordination. I'm going to ask my producers to quickly give me a list of our other reporters who are on the ground right now, who I can go to, so we can get you precise reports from the ground in several different places. Gaurav Sawant still with us in Delhi. Gaurav, take us through the army military bands that will be performing. You know, they are highly sought after. They're some of the best bands in the world, are India's military bands. They're going to be performing at hospitals across the country. That's such a wonderful idea, Gaurav.
It indeed is, and this is an age-old military tradition, Shiv, as you and I well know. In times of war, when armies march for long distances or at hospitals, it's a great morale booster to listen to military music. And it's not just military music that they play. They play the latest Bollywood songs, Hollywood songs, religious songs, martial music. The military bands are well versed. Pipes and drums, anything that you may want, the mass bands, they will play. In hospitals, they do it regularly at military hospitals, but right now they're doing it at hospitals in practically every district of our country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat. This is what General Bipin Rawat, Chief of the Defence Staff, said. So mass bands, mounted bands, for example, at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi, or the Safdarjung Hospital, or the RNR Hospital in the national capital, these bands will be playing out there as a morale booster for our healthcare workers, also for patients. So it's a great tradition, it's a great morale booster. When this happens, it sends out a very strong message that the nation is coming together. For the past 40 days, we've been in lockdown. For the past 3 months, we've been battling coronavirus, and there is a long war still ahead, as half the country is opening up now, Shiv, but half does remain either in a complete lockdown or in semi-lockdown. This sends out a message. We all need to be together, Shiv.
We all need to be together. The ceremonials have begun in all the cities of the country, and these will be spreading out into other areas as well. I want to welcome Air Marshal V.K. Bhatia, Veer Chakra, onto our coverage as well. Air Marshal, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with India Today's coverage this morning. You're seeing your former service in full glory this morning over India's big cities. A wonderful aerial tribute, Air Marshal, to India's COVID-19 warriors. How does it look to you?
Yes, I think it's a great gesture indeed on the part of the armed forces. It really shows gratitude to the COVID warriors. And I'm talking about all the people who are working in the hospital staff, the police, the other people who are actually doing essential services at the risk of their own lives. It is a great tribute. And I think the armed forces are the right people to represent the nation, to show this tribute to the people who are working for us relentlessly.
You see here, don't see there. You have to see here. You don't have to see there. Don't see there at all. You're coming on.
Shiv, can you hear me?
Okay, there's a bit of an audio problem there with Air Marshal V.K. Bhatia. I'm going to try and fix that. Viewers, please bear with us. As you know, this is a lockdown situation, so many of our guests are with us live through Skype and Zoom. So a little bit of a production problem there, but we will try and fix that in a moment. In the meanwhile, I want to go across to Chennai and Bengaluru, where Nolan Pinto is with us live from Bengaluru. Shalini is with us live from Chennai. Shalini, Nolan, to you first before I go to Shalini. Nolan, what's happening in Bengaluru? What's in store for COVID-19 warriors today as part of the military salute?
Well, Shiv, we are at the Victoria Hospital, and in my background over there is the Air Force band. Continuously, they have been playing actually martial tunes going across the Victoria Hospital. It's actually been really interesting what they have done. Apart from that, what's actually more interesting is this, Shiv. When the chopper actually flew over here, this very place, this is the main administrative building of the Victoria Hospital. In fact, they've already started playing their band, their martial tunes once more. The people over here, basically all the medical professionals, all the doctors, the nurses, we're all present, standing right in the center here. And this is where the Indian Air Force chopper, a Mi-17, actually dropped flower petals. And it was fantastic to see people clapping their hands, all are smiling. Shiv, you can understand the stress, the tension, the anxiety that they are actually going through, continuously working to keep us all safe. So this was something very different. They were very, very happy. And there you go once more. It's always pleasant to actually watch the Air Force Band going about playing their martial tunes. People are just enjoying it. So Shiv, it's actually a great, great day, especially for all these people over here. One must actually say congratulations for the job that they are doing day in and day out, in spite of knowing how dangerous this virus can be. But it's because of them that we are safe.
Yes. It truly is. I would like to say that we here in the media, who also are working right through this COVID-19 crisis, would like to bow our heads to the COVID-19 heroes, the true COVID-19 heroes. So we truly join the military in this thanks. And these images are so beautiful, aren't they? Su-30s, these are images that you see during Republic Day. And I want to tell you that flights of this kind are happening as part of routine training flights that happen every day. So this is very much not just a sentimental gesture to our COVID-19 heroes, but part of military training as well. I want to bring in Captain D.K. Sharma for a quick word as well. Captain Sharma, you were telling us about the symbolism of many of the things that we're seeing happen today. Go ahead.
You see, it's a joint effort of the country which has seen us battle this pandemic so far very, very, in a safe manner.
Yes.
The death rates have not gone up. The physical distancing, the other hygienic measures which are every evening reiterated by the Ministry of Health, by their the press conference, and the information which the media has put out continuously for the last 40 days has held in a good stead. And that is why the whole nation has come together today, and with the armed forces are we paying our gratitude to the corona warriors, the frontline warriors, who have in fact put their self at the back and have come out to the service of the nation. Now, so this gesture, and you
Yes.
were also saying that whether all this air effort and the effort which has been put in, no mission of the armed forces is it's actually a multitasking which is done. So all that planning which you were saying, that they
Yes.
will also be doing something else. So there is a measure of effectiveness for each and every sortie generated. So I'm sure the Indian Air Force would have worked over the last 48 hours and ensured that every sortie delivers. Apart from doing this, that also would have counted towards training or the logistic movement or the administrative, so it cannot be counted as a wastage. So it is a very, very complex kind of a thing.
Definitely cannot be counted as wastage, yes.
And it has been,
Yes.
put out in a very, very meticulous fashion. And we must salute all the planners who have, stitched it so nicely that within 24 hours of the announcement, things have, been shown to the nation.
No doubt.
That here we are, this is our readiness is in a situation of a pandemic. One must, congratulate and compliment all the arms of the armed forces, all the three arms, that the way they have reacted to this situation and
Yes.
kept
Yes.
their word. And I must come down to the show of the evening for
I
the
just
Navy.
want to...
I'll
Yes.
just tell you, Shiv, that the Navy has put out ships in Bombay, Cochin, Vizag, Chennai, Port Blair, and Porbandar. 7 places. So this lighting, which we call the illumination of the ships, this will happen at sharp 19:30 hours and will remain till midnight, 2359 hours. During this time, they will also, blow their ships on. There will be, various pistols. They will, fire the red and the green flares. And you've also come to know that around 36 ships of the Coast Guard, they will line up all across the coast. So that, from the small ports, Navy is going to do in the 7 ports, and then we have the Coast Guard all over. So this is how we are going to light up and there will be posters, and also we have lined up a lot of stuff which will come from Goa now. I can't, I'm not very sure about it, but there are people lined up on the runway which will also show the importance of social distancing. This is a kind of a human chain, but not actually a chain.
Absolutely.
And it is going to be aerial photography.
I can't wait to see, and I want to tell our viewers, Captain, thank you for telling us about the Navy ships, because in the evening today, India Today will be broadcasting live once again on the naval aspect of it. Things actually started last night. There are many Navy and Coast Guard ships in all of those places that Captain DK just named, which are already illuminated. It's a beautiful sight. You don't want to miss that sight. It's absolutely glorious. Of course, please don't go out. We are still under lockdown, but in several places, those pictures will be visible, and we'll have those pictures for you here on India Today. But as you enjoy these pictures in your screens of Su-30s, helicopters, the military bands will be performing in just a short while from now as well. But I want to go across to India Today's Shalini Lobo, my colleague who's in Chennai at this time. Shalini, the city of Chennai is also in for a treat. There will be warships off the coast of Chennai later this evening. But what's happening right now?
Well, Shiv, the Flypast, the tribute by the Air Force just got over. There were Corona warriors. A few of them are still standing there. This is at the Rajiv Gandhi Government General Hospital in Chennai. For those who know Chennai, it's right beside the Chennai Central Station. And it was beautiful, Shiv. As the chopper was going by, there were rose petals and marigold petals falling down from the skies onto these warriors, and they were clapping. I'm standing across the Rajiv Gandhi Hospital on a rooftop of another building, and we could hear the sound of their clapping all the way till here, echoing through the wind. It was a very beautiful sight, and indeed these are people who are spending more than their normal working hours, long hours, day and night, in the hospitals, saving lives. Many of them have not seen their children, many of them have not seen their partners, several others haven't gone home to their family. Resident doctors, students, all of them working long hours. All of them could not be there to experience this tribute. Many of them still working their shifts, but several of them were down on the ground there to receive those petals falling on them and clap. They were clapping out, thanking the people doing this for them. A beautiful sight indeed to several others, and we respect them and we thank them as well for serving us during this time of the pandemic shift.
Very well said, Shalini. We join the military in paying thanks to our COVID-19 heroes. I just want to take our viewers very quickly through what they're going to see as far as the Air Force tributes are concerned. You're looking at many of those aircraft in the sky. At about 11 o'clock, there is going to be a fighter display in the national capital as well. Those pictures will be on your screen as well. So there are many, many different fighters and transport aircraft that are already in the sky in different parts of the country. The Indian Air Force will conduct a flypast across India. It's already in motion right now in several cities to salute medical professionals and others who are fighting coronavirus pandemics from the front lines. This is okay, images now coming in from Bhopal. As you can see, on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see those pictures of the C-130 aircraft over Rajpath in Delhi. And in just a moment from now, you'll have images from Bhopal as well. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, as you watch these images, that all of this is happening in concert. It's happening, in conjunction in different parts of the country. So the floral tributes you see being paid are all happening roughly at the same time in an elaborate aerial ballet that literally spans the entire country.
डॉक्टर से भाई मेरी बात करना
India Today's Gaurav Sawant back in on these beautiful, beautiful images. Gaurav, 11 a.m. in about 15 minutes from now, the sky is going to be thick with aircraft over Rajpath. The C-130s have come. There are going to be many more in Rajpath.
Oh, absolutely, Shiv, and that is why, and fortunately the skies are clearing up. So, now we see sunlight. It's already rained. So hopefully the pilots of the Su-30 MKIs, the Jaguars and the MiG-29 air superiority fighters will have a very clear vision as they fly over Rajpath. In fact, they fly a little to the right of the Rajpath if you're facing the Raisina Hill. And that's the system, because on the left is the saluting days, and that is of course on Republic Day, but it's exactly the same flight path that is used. They take off from different airfields across the country, then they line up. Lining up, as you well know, Shiv, is the technical term that is used. When they line up, it's a little over Buddha Jayanti Park that they start lining up, and then they roll in. They use Rashtrapati Bhavan as the indicator, keep to one side of it, and then depending on what aircraft it is, it's a different speed from 780 kilometers per hour to 300 kilometers per hour. The distance, all of that is very well charted out, and then they fly past Rajpath. It's a beautiful sight on Republic Day. I've seen it over the years. It was an equally beautiful sight this morning when the C-130J Hercules went past. Very, very potent aircraft. It shows your military might, and this military might, Shiv, has been seen as India battles coronavirus. These C-130Js and the C-17, the strategic lift aircraft, they've been used so extensively to transport men and material. 790 tons of goods have been moved. Medicines, equipment, personnel, they've been moved from one part of the country to the other part of the country while fighting this coronavirus. Of course, along with aircraft of Air India and private airlines who've been flying cargo these days. So it's a mammoth task, and our air warriors have been doing a great job. Shiv, remember, you and I spoke to the pilots who flew into Wuhan, the ones who flew into Iran, and the ones who are still on standby to fly to other places. Similarly, Captain D.K. Sharma, and you well know, 4 Indian Navy ships, Shiv, are on standby to bring back more than 150,000 people who've signed up to come back to India from the Middle East. So while aircraft will bring back some, you'll have the Navy ships who will bring back more. So Navy ships also have special quarantine facility that's been set up. Jalashwa is one of those ships. Magar, other ships which will bring back our people from the Middle East. So it's a mammoth task that the services are also engaged in.
Absolutely, Gaurav. Stay with me. I also want to bring in Ashutosh Mishra, who's with us live from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi's most prestigious medical facility. Ashutosh, take us through what's happening there. The army bands, everyone's waiting for the army bands to begin playing, because that's going to be such a beautiful tribute to the COVID-19 workers. You know, everyone's got these beautiful sights, and now they're waiting for the sounds.
अभी नहीं हुआ, कट गया है। ये शॉर्ट्स बता दो, काट ले मेरे वाला, बोलो शॉर्ट काट ले, मेरा सोर्स का शॉर्ट दे दो।
Okay, I think there's a bit of a audio problem there with Ashutosh. We'll go across to him in just a moment. Ashutosh is outside the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. But if you look at your screens right now, we're basically putting together the best of the images on a minute-to-minute basis here on India Today, so you miss nothing. So even if you are in a city where you've, failed to make it to your terrace in time to catch these images, please fret not. We have the best images, and I know it's not the same thing as seeing it from your roof, but this will be the best visual that you can get of every single thing that can happen at this time. Air Marshal Bhatia, I want to come back to you, and I sincerely hope we can get a better audio connection with you this time. Absolutely fantastic coordination being demonstrated by the aviation assets of the country and the planners. What kind of complexity is involved in this, sir? You know, many of these aircraft are already involved in securing the country, in performing COVID-19 logistics flights. What does it take to actually plan a big aerial salute of this kind? And as we can see, Air Marshal Bhatia, it's happening all across the country.
Yes, as you know, Shiv, this is a fantastic tribute which has been given. Can you hear me, Shiv? Shiv, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is that it's a fantastic tribute which has been paid by the armed forces in this hour of trial when COVID fighters are fighting a pandemic, which is, I think, on a war footing, and basically battling a war-like situation. And as you know, armed forces have always had this kind of a tradition where this kind of tributes are always paid. I would like to tell you about, for example, in UK, they have this fantastic flight paths, you know. And very recently, when one of their veterans, World War II veterans, who went and collected $30 million for NHS, a special flight pass was given in tribute to him. And the Queen actually even made him into an honorary colonel. As far as we are concerned, we fly to pay tributes to our fallen warriors. For example, we fly the missing man formation and so on and so forth. As you know, all these people are actually engaged in all kinds of activities, but you can see the pan-India presence of the Indian Force starting from Lake to Kanyakumari, because today, the same aircraft, for example, you saw the Chinook over Lake. Normally, it would have been carrying a 777 orbiter under the sun to one of the army positions.
Absolutely.
But the same aircraft is today showing its gratitude to the people on behalf of the nation. And the aircraft which carry weapons and bullets today are carrying flowers to show their gratitude.
It's beautiful. You know, I don't want to labor this point too much, but something compels me to say this, Air Marshal, and I'm sure you'll bear with me as well. You know, there have been many cynics who've said this is a waste of time, this is a waste of money. First of all, we've debunked that claim, you know, by telling you that this is part of logistics operations, some deviations here and there, but largely this is something that is already part of training operations that are taking place. So it's not a waste in that sense. Secondly, I want people to look at the pictures of those medics, those doctors on the ground in Bengaluru, in Jaipur and elsewhere, and try and put yourselves in their shoes for just a moment. Imagine how they feel to see India's armed forces paying this gorgeous, sentimental and symbolic tribute. Whether it is with flower petals from helicopters, whether it is India's frontline fighters, whether it is India's warships, which are all deployed already in protecting the country, they've taken time out of their own work to actually say thanks to India's medics, policemen, nurses, paramedics, sanitation workers, and those at the very front lines of this. This is the armed forces saying, I salute you. We are at the front lines of securing the country, but you are on the front lines of securing India's citizens as well. It's a beautiful bonhomie between the armed forces and the forces fighting coronavirus in the country. I'm going to take a very quick break. The next phase of this aerial, sea and ground salute is about to begin, courtesy India's brilliant military. It's going to happen after this very short break. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, on India Today, you will miss nothing at all. Stay with me.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.